Qanba sent me an arcade stick, and I wanted to try it out, you know? Does anyone know how to get this thing to work? I threw away the instructions just like I do with everything that I buy. I came to some realizations in the purchasing stuff department several years ago. One thing was cell phones. I felt like cell phones, you will spend a lot of money on them, but the upgrade is never big, right? I want big upgrades. They're all the same. They're all the same, which I found to be frustrating. And the reason I bring that up is because that's similar to arcade sticks. Arcade sticks, at least for up until the point where I stopped giving a fuck, they were all the same. And once you have a good one, if you didn't, like, if you weren't stingy, you got a good one, that's all you need. You don't need, I have 50 arcade sticks in here. Once I realized that, I was like, okay, I don't need any more arcade sticks. You know, all the ones that I've collected that are cool from the past, I have those. And all the new ones they come out with, they're just redoing the same idea, right? Good parts, good, durable, whatever, right? But this stick actually has a couple of concepts that I have never heard of, which I think, I don't know, I just realized it right now. I opened them today. You tell me what you think. I'll tell you about them in a sec. The thing is, this arcade stick is really expensive, and I think it's because it's a PS5 stick. PS5 ain't cheap.
Thank you.
Anyway, this is what it looks like. It's like, I guess you can't really see it in 720p. It has like a black finish, you know?
Thank you.
And it looks really nice, and it's heavy as fuck. Oh, it's green? Well, that's just how you see it. But it's heavy. Heavy is good. You know? Feels nice. Heavy. I like heavy.
Thank you.
In your lap, it really, like, it weighs your feet down. Feels good. But the weird thing about it that I didn't know, first of all, I took it out of the box, and I could not figure out where's the cable? Where's the cable? I couldn't find the cable, and I threw the instructions away. So it turns out that this arcade stick has, on both sides, it has these screws that look like design. Like, it just looks like design fluff, I guess. But actually, they're hand screws. And they're the types of hand screws where when you unscrew them, they don't actually come out. They're just like hand screws, right? So when you unscrew them and you take this side panel out, that's where the cable goes, right? Who cares? That's not a big deal. But then I was like, well, what about the other side then? What's on the other side? So I unscrew that, and there's actually a back top that you could just take out of here and put on top of your stick. There's like a holster for a back top that you could use on your stick that is stored in the stick in a really, like, clever way, actually. So that was cool. I was like, okay, that's clever, but whatever. That's like, who gives a fuck? Back tops are for pussies, right? But, so I started looking more at the stick, and I noticed this little thing on the bottom that's like a little nipple twister. It's like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this little thing? So I twist it and pull it out, and it's like a cap that covers the bottom of the shaft of the arcade stick. Why is that sick? Well, first of all, you can easily, without opening your arcade stick, very easily access removing the stick. So you can not only replace the stick without opening it, which is tight, but the best part is, if you're traveling, you don't have to worry about breaking it. You don't gotta buy one of those expensive, stupid stick bags and look like a little nerd when you're traveling around with a stick bag, because you can just take the stick out. That's a good idea. I found that to be it's like the other parts of this are innovative, but who gives a fuck, right? It's innovative, but who cares? But that innovation is actually useful. Like, imagine having access to something easily that you didn't have access to before. That's pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, it's just a regular stick. Good parts. It's PS5.
Thank you.
What's it called? Official licensed. Pretty cool. I haven't tried it yet. It's just heavy. Oh, this is the Vuelix layout. That's funny. This is a Vuelix layout. I just noticed it when I started moving. That means the arcade stick and the buttons are quite close together. Noir is more of like a arcing, kind of like a King of Fighters arc, and the Vuelix, which is a Hori layout, or used to be, is like it goes up one step and then straight across. I like Noir style a lot. I like Noir style too, but the interesting thing is, I think I like both. I like the distance between the stick and the buttons of a Noir layout, but I like the Vuelix button placement. So I'm wondering how configurable these things are. This feels like an expensive stick, but it is an expensive stick. I think the what's the MSRP on this? Like $300 or some shit? It's $300, but it's because of the PS5 license. I mean, not that it doesn't feel like it's... I mean, it's heavy. You know, it's heavy. It doesn't feel like you paid $300 for something that's like not heavy. You know what's fucked up, dude? You say that $300 is a lot, and I agree with you. It is, but you know these things, dude. DualSense controllers are like $90, $80 or something, and I've bought 5 of them so far because of stick drift. And I'm gonna buy more. They're all gonna break every time. This is a product that if you buy it, you know you will have to buy it again, okay? While earlier, remember when I said if you buy a good stick, you're never gonna need another one. That's it. You will just keep the same good stick. So that's the point I wanted to make. I'm not even talking about this stick. Whatever, forget this stick. The idea of an arcade stick, these things from like conception were designed to be durable in a public place. They're designed to be like destroyed by everyone. Angry, butthurt, sore losing motherfuckers who slam on this shit. It needs to be durable, you see? So, by design, from scratch, it's designed to be durable. Buy one, you're good forever. These things, and these things, cell phone and DualSense, these products are designed to break from, like, their base concept. They're designed to break. Curved screens, these designs are... Obviously, they are not concerned with making a product that's going to last. It's obvious. If you can't see that, then you're an asshole. Obviously, right? But this type of a product, I'm not even talking about this one in particular. Any type of good arcade stick, the reason I always say don't be cheap, get a good one, is because you'll just fucking need one. The price seems steep until you realize I've bought like 7 of these things, dude. And I'm gonna buy more. It seems steep. $300 seems like a lot, but only to someone who is a fool when you consider the way peripherals are designed. The way peripherals are designed, that shit makes me sick. Not just peripherals, cell phones, other products are this way too. It's just like automobiles, you know, they do this with cars. 2021, Hellcat. 2022, Hellcat. 2023, Hellcat. They're all the same, right? It's priced like it's crazy. They're all the same, over and over and over again. Whatever it is, any car, you know? Oh, do a stick review. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's good. Anyway, that should do it. As far as this stick goes, I'll tell you how I feel about it. So my other stick is a PS4 stick. It's a Fighting Edge, right? And it has a brushed surface. That brushed surface is less comfortable to play on, but it doesn't show fingerprints and it doesn't get soiled. This stick, it's much more comfortable to play on than that. It's got a polished surface, and the only downside is it shows fingerprints. The materials used on both feel really good, and both sticks feel like they will last until they come out with a new PlayStation that forces you to buy another stick. What else do I need to talk about? Hey, what do you guys want to know about when you're reading or when you're looking at a review? We'll do a quick Q&A session. Maybe that'll make it to the end of the video. Yeah, it uses Sanwa parts. Spring tension? Fuck you, man. What the fuck, dude? What's the spring tension? You mean measured in duodes? It's about 3.5 duodes by my estimation. Does it have Bluetooth connectivity? You know what? Forget this idea. I'll just tell you about it. It's good. I mean, yeah. What I would want from a stick is something that's not going to break. It's going to last the longest. It's not going to warp from your sweat. So materials used. Number one, materials used, and that includes parts. So assuming it's Sanwa parts, which it is, which I prefer. I also like Hayabusa parts too. Both are fine. It's preference. Materials used, especially the parts that you touch with your hands. There's pros and cons. Brushed metal doesn't show oil, hand oil, which you think is not that big of a deal, but it really is a big deal. To me, at least. It doesn't get soiled as quickly. Hayabusa feels squishy to you? I like that you don't have to push them as hard to register them. To me, Hayabusa parts are really sensitive. All you have to do is barely touch them and they register. I like that. I don't want to like use extra energy, you know, pushing buttons hard. So for me, I like Hayabusa parts. The Razer Pantera, I don't remember which one the Razer Pantera is. I have a Razer stick. I have two Razer sticks. I don't mean to be a hater, but both of those Razer sticks feel like they're made out of shitty material. Both of them. The materials used, that's a key ingredient in an arcade stick. The materials used are just not that good on that. What's the button layout? This one is a Vuelix layout. This stick has a Vuelix layout. That's when it goes up one step and then across, instead of having an arc. The arc is a noir layout. Is the Tournament Edition 2 considered a good stick? I consider that to be a shitty stick. And the number one, there's two reasons. If we're going to go by feel, that stick, when you push the buttons, feels super squishy, muddy. It doesn't feel like an arcade stick, like an arcade machine, you know, like super solid. It has kind of like a muddy feel to it. And the other thing that's awful about that stick is not only does it get soiled, but dry skin and hair and shit gets underneath the plexiglass over time. So you can't just clean it with a towel the way it gets soiled, but you have to open it. I know It like weird and Dan's game, but it's so true. Ask anyone who owns that stick. Ask anyone who owns that stick. It is fucking disgusting the way it gets soiled. It literally is so gross. So I would say stay away from the TE2. It's no good, personally speaking. And also stay away from, this is my opinion now, any budget, small type of a stick, I wouldn't get those either. Unless you literally want something smaller and lighter. Like, you know, maybe you got Whopper hands and maybe you're like, you know, you're trying to travel or something, right? If you're looking for something small specifically, that's a different story. But if you're just looking for an arcade stick, I would never get a budget arcade stick. Budget arcade stick is like, I don't know, something like you don't want to get a budget version of. Let's put it that way. Budget prostate exam or something. You don't want that. You want it professionally executed by a real doctor. Yeah, I would definitely give it my seal of approval. It's expensive, but you have to pay for
you.
things when you want them to be good. That's just something you'll have to learn in life. If you want something to be really good, you have to pay for it. It's either going to cost you time or money. And you just have to decide what it's worth to you, you know? If you're just some random jobber, maybe you might want to, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to give this advice. I don't know when it's time to get a stick. I also don't know if you should get a stick anymore. And you know the pad comes with the console. You already own a pad. I play on pad in more on combat. I find that game's command system is more suited for a pad because there are 4 buttons and a block, and there are multiple 2-button combination sequences that you need, and the directional inputs in Moron Combat are not complex. They're never like Dragon Punch. They're always like back forward button, up down forward button. So you never need like the execution of an arcade stick, for me at least. Anyway, yeah, I think this stick is good. I would recommend it. It gets my approval. There should be like a bunch of other shit from like a couple weeks ago that I said, and then No Pants will put these 2 things together, and the dumb fucks in the comments won't have any idea what happened. They'll just make all these stupid comments. Hey, what's up, amigos? Fuck you.